Greetings CIS110, welcome to the Unit 8 assignment video. This is going to be our final assignment for this course, so congratulations on getting to this point. And I think that we have a great assignment this week because last week in Unit 7 we looked at our first go around with PowerPoint, and we went through how to navigate through some of the functions and features and how to perform different steps. And this week we get to build upon that and express yourself creatively by both deciding your own content and also being able to maybe add some slide designs or images or any of that sort of stuff if you choose to. We do have an assignment guide that gives step-by-step instructions like we always do. And what I want you to know is that that is a minimum requirement. You are welcome to build upon that this week and add some of the other functions and features of PowerPoint. So let's take a look at what we have for the assignment this week. And what we basically have is an assignment to create 6 slides. The first is going to be a title slide, and then we're going to have 5 content slides. And the content of each of those slides is really what I'm looking for. So your title slide should have a title, and I have that highlighted in yellow because you get to decide what the title of your presentation is going to be. CIS110 Unit 8 assignment is just a recommendation. You could put CIS110 PowerPoint presentation. You can put CIS110 course review. What I ask is that as you figure out what title you want to use, it just is something that's appropriate, and it's something that really relays what you're trying to communicate as an end result. From there, it should have your first and last name, and then post-university resources on another line, just like we did for last week. So once again, you get to determine what your actual presentation title is. And then from there, I can click on, because I do have these slides already built out, I can click on these thumbnails on the side here and navigate between all of my slides. So I'm going to go to slide 2, which deals with Unit 1. And we want you to identify something that you learned within that unit and then discuss why it was useful and how it will help you. The way that I recommend doing a slide title, and once again, you get to determine how you want to format your slide title. I recommend doing it as Unit 1 and then identifying whatever it is that you learned or whatever it is that you want to discuss, because that does help you stay organized, and it also helps me when I go through grading and while viewing your presentation and knowing exactly where I'm at within your presentation. So slide 2 deals with Unit 1, and you can pull from whatever you learned out of that unit and then add that content here. So both within the title and within the content itself. Let's take a little bit of a closer look in slide number 3. We're dealing with Unit 2, and one of the main themes of this one was online safety. So I just put that in there as a recommendation. Once again, you can pull whatever it is that you want to discuss, and then again discuss why it was useful and how it will help you. As we get a little bit more specific, in slide 4 we talked about we're in units 3 and 4, and the overall theme was Microsoft Word. So you can pick Microsoft Word, you can pick specific functions or formats within Microsoft Word. You could even talk about something that you learned in the assignment, or how to attach a assignment to an email. Any of those things would be perfectly fine. And then I wanted to give you an example of discussing why it was useful and how it will help you. So I'm not looking for you to write an essay or to add gigantic paragraphs in here, because that's really not what PowerPoint is for. PowerPoint should be short pieces of text, things that communicate quickly and easily, in order to supplement what your presentation is. So we can do that pretty efficiently by just saying simply that Microsoft Word will help you improve spelling and grammar, and then spelling and grammar will help you earn higher grades. So we can communicate shortly and easily. As we go into units 5 and 6, maybe you want to discuss Excel, and you can talk about different formatting options and that it can increase employability, and then maybe discuss specific options that you learned, specific functions, and maybe some specific things that you can actually get out of Microsoft Excel. And I don't want you to take exactly the content that I'm providing here. This is just to use as an example. I want to see you create your own content, and that's why I'm kind of being very brief with this. and letting you know that I want to see you build out the things that you want to discuss here. Within Unit 7 and 8, this did talk about Microsoft PowerPoint. However, I want to go over slide design real quick because this is what I am hoping that I'm going to see from some of you. If you choose to do it, once again, you do not have to add a slide design. The assignment guide goes over what the requirements are, and if you want to build upon that, you are more than welcome to. If you do want to get into slide design, I want to make sure that you're focusing on the 4 C's. And the 4 C's when it comes to slide design, at least for me, are compatibility, color, contrast, and content. So when we talk about compatibility, we're talking about making sure that the designs of your slide are consistent with the type of presentation that you're giving. Who are you giving your presentation to? What are you trying to accomplish with it? What's your end result? Who is your audience going to be? What corporate environment are you in? And then picking something that aligns with that. And one of those things that we talk about is that, you shouldn't use big wild colors and you shouldn't use fancy, crazy designs, but maybe that's appropriate for the presentation that you're giving. Maybe it's not. So as long as it's compatible, then it's correct. And we really accomplish that through several different things, and mainly it's color, contrast, and content. That the colors make it a little bit easier to read, that the contrast helps your text and your images stand out from the slide design background, and that your content is appropriate for what you're trying to communicate. And content really is a huge one because, once again, we don't want to add all of our presentation material here. We don't want to write on our slide everything that we're going to say because that really would render us irrelevant, right? So we want our content to supplement us and to present that in a way that's actually meaningful. So let's take a look at how we actually design the slides. And when we come up here to the Design tab, we can see that we have some built-in themes, and we can pick from any of those themes. We can also pick from the variants of those themes. And within Office 365, we also have a designer command. And we can click that and we can see that we have a bunch of pre-made designs, and we can even go here to see more design ideas. So we can keep on scrolling. There are hundreds, probably thousands of different types of designs that you could go through, and you can pick what works best for you. Now, we could also just build the preset themes and the preset layouts here. One of the ones that I like is this one right here. I kind of like the way that the stage appearance looks. And then I also like the fact that the slide background is not a bright white, because the bright white can actually be a little bit hard to see. So this is what I'm talking about with color. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. And then with contrast, that the text stands out from the slide design itself. We also have some different designer ideas within this particular theme. And then over here we have different variants that we could use as well. So we can click on a theme that we like, and we have an arrow right here to go through some of the additional ones. And then we can click on different variants, which are basically just our color themes within the layout. And I'm just going to go back to this one right here because I actually like that one. I think that that presents a pretty soft and contrasting appearance, and it helps to, it really does help your audience be able to read what it is without aggravating the eyes. So right now I have this highlighted because I wanted it to stand out. I can select that and go to my home tab, and this is where I can select no color, and that will default that for me. And I could also change this color. If I don't like the color within my theme, I can pick a different color, maybe something a little bit softer, maybe a different color altogether. So I can edit this the way that I want it to look. Another cool thing that we can do is also add pictures. And we can do that through the Insert tab. We can go to insert and we can see pictures here. And then we can decide that we want to insert a picture from this device, something that's saved on the computer. We have a bunch of stock images that are also available to us, and these are basically preloaded images within Office 365. And we can scroll through, we can search for different types of things, and we can also go to online pictures, which will search the internet. And we can scroll through all of these different categories, or we could even just do a search for something very specific. Let's talk about PowerPoint. And then I can basically pick an image that I want to insert. So that'll insert it into my slide. This right here obviously is my picture, and this right down here is basically the visual version of a reference. So it's crediting the person who created this image for us. And we can click on any of these, and we can increase or decrease the size. And then once it's selected, we could also move it around. So you are welcome to experiment and explore with this the way that you want to do that. And once again, I do welcome you to do that. I'm not going to take off points if I don't like your design. I may give you feedback as far as things that you should consider within designs, but the only thing that I'm actually going to grade you on is whether or not the content is consistent with what the assignment guide presents. So I think that this is a really great opportunity for you to explore with these themes and figure out how to design a slide, and then get some feedback from me that actually doesn't even affect your grade. It just gives you some things to consider moving forward. As always, we want to make sure that we have this saved. So I'm going to go to File, Save As I always do, and I'm going to save this to the same post-university folder. And that's actually not the one that I want because mine's on the desktop. The same post-university folder that I've been using all along. And I want to save this as my CIS110 Unit 8 assignment, and then click on Save. And at this point, you should know how to upload it into Blackboard for grading. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns about this assignment, please feel free to reach out to me. You can also use the drop-in office hours. But I do, once again, welcome you to experiment and explore with this the way that you want to. So I hope that you do have a great week. I look forward to seeing what all of you produce. And once again, congratulations on getting to this point of the course. Take care.